I'll be honest with you, man. After watching the game last night and just watching Austin Reaves throughout the playoffs, I mean, I think it's time to separate with Austin Reaves. I think right now is the most value you're going to get for Reaves. I just
Mm.
don't trust him in the playoffs. It's like a player that averages nearly 30 points in the regular season, has numerous over 40-point games and numerous 30-point games, and then the playoffs is averaging 18. Like that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And we already know what that's going to end up like. It's going to end up like a James Harden situation. So at the end of the day, I think it's time to get rid of Austin Reaves. Obviously, when it comes to LeBron, LeBron doesn't have that much time left, and you know LeBron's going to need a big contract. So I think it's also time to separate from LeBron as well. I think you got to build around Luka Dončić. You know you have something really special with Luka. It's time to see how many draft picks you can get, and just like Chill said, try to build in the draft and see what you can just build around Luka Dončić. I'm also not a big fan of DeAndre Ayton. So I mean, I think there's a lot of moves that the Lakers need to make
move off of him
to make them a better team. It's just I think if you look at how like the past was constructed when it came to LeBron, when LeBron was winning championships, LeBron always had a big man that could shoot threes. And I think LeBron needed that when it came to the Lakers. And obviously, when DeAndre Ayton came into the league, I thought he could shoot threes. I don't know what happened to DeAndre Ayton's shooting ability. It's like he was supposed to be, dominating. You know what I'm saying? When he came out of Arizona, dude was a beast. He was doing everything on the court. But now all of a sudden, when he's on the Lakers, it's like, I don't know what's going on with DeAndre Ayton. I don't know what happened to him. So I think the Lakers need to do a whole redesign of their entire lineup. I would, to be honest, the players that I would keep, Luka Dončić, I'm keeping Rui Hachimura. If you look at Rui, I understand Rui's a little streaky, but in the playoffs, Rui hits shots that are really important. And last night, Rui showed that he should have got the ball late in the game. He had the hot hand throughout the entire game and then didn't really touch the ball in the last 2 minutes. So I think Rui Hachimura is another player that's good to keep. But just overall, there's going to have to be a full reconstruction of that lineup. Those guys are way too old. Marcus Smart is too old. Like you need a whole reconstruction. It's got to change completely. He's too old, man. He's too old. I don't think to me, if you look at Marcus Smart, I love Marcus Smart. But if you look at how he was guarding Shai Gilgeous-Alexander last night, Marcus Smart is a great defender, but he wasn't really making a huge difference on Shai.
I mean, nobody really makes a huge difference on him.
Well, what I'm saying, but I feel like it's a size difference too. Marcus Smart is only 6'3", 6'4". He's only 6'3", 6'4".
And Shai is 6'5", 6'6".
Exactly. You know,
I don't think it's that much of a size difference, but
I think it is, man.
What I'm trying to make sense of is if we go in the direction where because essentially what you're saying is we got to start over, and we start over with Luka. That's what it sounds like. Well, what I can't do is AOF has a player option at the end of the season. He ain't walking out the front door for nothing. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear him walking out the front door for nothing. So do I sign him and trade him to, I don't know, how about Oklahoma City? How about you hand over some of them draft picks?
That doesn't work that way at all.
Why not?
Because they would have to give you something of sizable value.
Absolutely. They got a bomb squad over there. They got 12 guys over there.
You got to match salaries.
Absolutely. We can also get a third team involved in this too. We could 100% do that.
OKC can't just give you like Jared McCain.
I just threw them out
he's not necessarily saying OKC. He's saying, do you trade him and get picks back?
He has to agree to it. That too. He's an unrestricted free agent. He's not a restricted free agent.
Okay.
He's an unrestricted free agent. He can go wherever the hell he wants. He can define his player option, and he can say, take a hike. I don't want to be here. I don't care. And
do you guys think Austin Reaves is going to get a max contract if he does?
I mean, he shouldn't.
Yeah,
but he could.
I think he will.
I mean, it's like I think it's a thing where there's smoke, there's fire. There's a lot of smoke around Austin Reaves being a max player. Somebody's going to throw that money at him.
Brooklyn.
And like
they love him in Utah, by the way, Ron.
And here's also the thing too, like
they don't have the money to do it.
How about you hand over that number 2 pick?
It doesn't work that way, Chill.
The
cap exists for a reason. You got to if he takes a max contract, unless the team is significantly under the luxury tax line.
I do know that, Penn. Yes, it does.
Okay, so if he's going to take $35 million, you can't just hand him a number 2 pick who makes $12 million.
Yo, this PC Ron here.
This is Chilltown Hoops.
Yo, this is Drench Man, not the French man.
Mars here.
This is Swiper. Yo, this is Big Ox.
I want to start by showing love to everybody that rocks with PC.
We appreciate y'all, whether you catch every episode.
Catch the clips, jump in the chat, or just support from a distance.
We see all of it.
We put a lot into this, a lot of time, a lot of energy.
And a lot of love. And we do it because we really care about giving y'all dope content and building the best sports community out there.
But if we being real, the way we can keep growing this thing and make more content, have better productions, more live events, more PC weekends, more meetups, all of that stuff.
It's through memberships.
The support really helps us keep this thing moving.
So if PC has ever been a part of your day,
Helped you get through work,
Made you laugh.
Made you mad, or just gave you somewhere to tap in with people who really love the game.
go check out the memberships tiers and see which one works best for you.
We're here every day doing this.
And with y'all behind us,
We can keep taking this to another level.
tap into the membership.
And let's keep building this thing, baby. PC to the top with you. Let's do it.
No, I'm going to get some other people involved in this in Utah. Yes, I am. I'm going to get some other people involved in this.
But Utah has to shed the salary to absorb the salary, is what
Sure.
I'm saying. So if
The money got to
35
make
is-
sense. Yes. I
Okay,
get
well,
that part.
who are they giving you that's 35 million? They're not giving you Laurie Markkinen.
No,
They're not giving you Jaren Jackson.
no.
Those are the two big contracts.
Right. So that just so we
And,
clear,
and they
Penn,
have to also figure out Walker Kessler.
okay.
you know.
So with that being said, though, Penn, just so we clear, just so you know, one contract that equals 35 million. That doesn't mean that we only have to get one contract. We could get some 10 million. We could get a $12 million deal. We could get a $14 million deal over here to make all
Right.
of this money actually work. We can
Right,
do that.
and- Yeah, and I get it. And in this situation, Austin Reaves holds all the power, and so does LeBron.
does.
Quite frankly,
For
they,
sure.
they both do.
They both
so,
do. Yeah.
so you know you don't get to just send Austin Reaves wherever you want to send him. He's got to want to go there, which means
I think the Lakers
you
made a
know
mistake too. By the way, I do. I think the Lakers made a mistake letting his contract go this far.
Me too.
I-
Me too.
I'm-
He should have
I'm
been.
not
He
on
should
the-
have already been traded. He should have already
I'm
been
not on
traded
the
to
fence
resign.
about this. I told you this, Penn. I said this a year ago. I said that LeBron James wrote the blueprint on what to do when your star does not sign a contract extension when he's coming into a contract year. He is not walking out the door for nothing.
he can't sign the contract extension. So this is once again like where the CBA.
But that's the
Understanding
point.
CBA
Penn.
is
Last summer, we knew his extension was coming up. We knew his player option was coming up at the end of this year. So last summer was the summer where we could have said, all right, what's going on? You see what's going on with Giannis right now? You see Milwaukee is not going to let him walk out the front door. Hell no. They're not going to let him play this season and hope that he comes back next year. Hell no. One of two things is happening, Giannis. Here got a contract extension.
you can't
If you ain't
extend him
interested
on
in
his
it-
current contract.
So we're talking about trading him, Penn.
No.
Not extending, trading.
Well, he was talking about how Austin Reaves. Okay, so let me try to understand this. Chill. Are you saying because he didn't extend, you were thinking about trading him?
Because he didn't extend. Yes.
Okay, so there we go. Ron, don't try to translate. I'm hearing what Chill was saying. The problem
Chill
is
was
when-
talking about Austin Reaves last year. He said last year was the year to trade him before he comes up to his free agency. Just like he's talking about right now is the year to trade Giannis Antetokounmpo before he becomes a free agent this next year. Last year, the Lakers should have traded Austin Reaves so they wouldn't have
Because
to deal
he
with this
didn't-
conundrum that they're in right now.
because he didn't agree to an extension, correct?
Well,
Well, I mean, if they wanted to extend him, they could have extended him.
So what I'm trying to say is that because his base contract is so low, the extension value cannot be what is fair market value for him. So everybody in LA who was screaming at Austin Reaves or why didn't he extend or whatever is sadly misinformed about how the CBA works. There's a certain level above your current contract that an extension can start at. That value would be way too low, and that's the problem with underpaying players. The Lakers underpaid Austin Reaves on his initial deal. 12 million, whatever, because
Sure.
he was a second round or an undrafted guy, and
It's the same thing
you know,
going on up in Portland with
happens.
Denny too. The same thing going on with Portland up in Portland with Denny because his contract
Yep,
is at
Denny
13
Avdia.
right now.
Denny
It
is
goes-
going to be in the same situation,
and it goes
because
down. Like it goes from 13. The last year his deal is at like $11 million.
right. The
Right.
Raptors were in the same situation.
So if
with
you
the
can't-
Raptors were in the same situation with OG Anunoby
Absolutely,
as well.
and I'm gonna let you make your point, Penn. So the point is if Austin Reaves is not eligible to be extended, because Drago is just listening to like this one point instead of completely listening to the whole thing. I am going to lose Austin Reaves in free agency. That's what's gonna happen. So last summer, I know his contract is coming up. If I can't extend him, then we got to move off of him. We have to. You literally just said that we couldn't extend him. So if we can't extend him, then we got to move off of him. Because next year, at the end of the year, he's got a player option, which means that he could walk out the front door for nothing. And I get nothing for him. That's it. So if I can't extend him, and Penn, you might be able, I think you have some more expertise on this than I do. When you extend guys, or not just extend them, but if I'm not mistaken, there's contracts where I can only extend you at like 20%, something like that. There's contracts where
I think it's 140% of your existing value.
Sure.
So the problem here is an extension versus re-signing are not the same thing. An extension happens when you already have a contract and you're tagging years onto the contract. Examples include what the Raptors did last season with Jakob Poeltl. He still had a year left on his contract. They added 2-3 years to it.
Sure.
That gives the team safety that they don't have to hit free agency with you.
I get extension.
However, there are situations like OG Anunoby, soon to be Denny Avdia, Fred VanVleet was one, and current Austin Reaves, where the contract value is so low that an extension cannot be negotiated because you cannot go to the point where fair value can be hit. So the most that Austin Reaves,
it doesn't even make sense to
right. So chill. It would be like, let's just say you get paid $1,000 per episode here.
Sure.
I'm just assuming on the low end that you get paid $1,000 because you're that great. So let's just say you were like, okay, well, my contract's coming up and I want 2,000 because I'm worth 2,000. But PC's like,
chill.
well, as your current deal.
Focus, Ox.
Focus. And if the rules of the podcast National Podcasting Association, where you could only get paid 150%, that means the maximum you could hit would be 1,500. But you're like, I want 2,000. So PC is like, yo, chill. You're very important to us.
Sure.
So we're gonna let your contract expire, and then we're gonna hand you 2,000. There's no reason to believe that Austin Reaves has not had that conversation with Rob Pelinka. He's probably had the conversation with Rob Pelinka. The agents have talked. They've said, when your contract expires, we're going to offer you 32, 35, whatever.
Now, here's the difference, though, with that, Penn, and I think that that's a fair argument. But the difference with that is, to Miles's point, how has Austin Reaves looked in the playoffs?
Exactly.
Well,
Which
that's
means
the problem with not having an
ain't
extension.
today's price. Like what
Exactly.
we said yesterday ain't today, off the strength of that price that we're agreeing to is contingent on you getting busy in the playoffs.
100%.
And if you don't, well, you know what? That 30, 35 million, it might not look as good now. We can't really justify that, especially with 2 years in a row.
Exactly. 2 years in a row. Come on.
But
bro.
chill, this is where that Isaiah Thomas Boston Celtics situation comes in, right? Where we got a handshake agreement and we can't renege on this because this is bad business. Now, if Austin Reaves goes out and tears his Achilles, bad for him, right? But what if he comes out and scores 30 points per game against the OKC Thunder? Can he just walk away? Can he say, I know we said 35, but now I want 42? Can he do that? So I think the Lakers are going to have to meet him somewhere in the middle. He's still a really good player. You've underpaid him for 4 years. There was an old thing that Gilbert Arenas said is, you don't pay me for the player I'm going to be. You pay me for the player I've been. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that's terrible asset management. I think that's how like Vivek Ranadive runs the Kings personally. But for me, I think 30 million is fair. I don't agree with anybody saying that, he needs to move. I mean,
Miles, ain't no way you're going
Miles.
30 for
no.
way.
I'm not
Hey,
going
yo,
30
fella,
for a guy.
Jalen Johnson got 30.
in the
Trey Murphy
playoffs.
got 25. I
No
think
way you
Austin
going
Reaves is going to get 30, bro.
Because you're going to lose him.
It's the panel. Religion get built on cam. Where the check throw smoke and the hoes go ham. You ain't never seen hoops out hit the raw. Every take got weight, every night we drop. This that barbershop. Courtside, worldwide tone. Welcome to the only show that really feel like numbers jumping like the score.